Hey, this is Brandon from the band Candylion out of St. Louis, Missouri, and I am here to talk to you today about the worst show I ever played in my life. So I've been in bands now for like almost 25 years, and I started really young and playing like punk and punk ska music, and it was cool at the time, so it worked. And anyway, had played a lot of out of town shows, kind of all over the Midwest, maybe a little further, and at the time of this show, I was playing like some kind of weird folk music, very like finger picky, but still punk somehow. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I just thought it was. And kind of think like early Bright Days and maybe like early Against Me. I played a lot of out of town shows with this. Really easy to do so, really cheap to do so. So it was just like me, my guitar, and my bright yellow Dodge Neon that I had for some reason. So yeah, so this particular show was in Nashville, Tennessee, and it was kind of a one-off for me. I had was just going from St. Louis to Nashville, and actually not even St. Louis. I had moved. I'd lived like in a punk rock party house, and for I don't know, like a year or two, and everyone there got hooked on heroin except me and maybe one or two other people, and so it was time to go. So I had moved back to Hillsboro, which is the town I'm from, which is about an hour south of St. Louis, to live with my parents in a recent like 100+ year old farmhouse they had bought. It was an awful situation, so I played out of town as much as I could. But the story I'm about to tell you was going to stopped me from playing out of town shows for years to come, and the debt I incurred and my 4-hour a week Hot Topic job took years to cover it. So let's get into it. So my buddy Fletcher came along, and my girlfriend at the time came along, and it's about 5 or 6 hours from St. Louis area to Nashville. So we made the drive and got to the venue. I can't remember. I can't remember the name of the venue. I know it was pirate or ship themed in some way, but I can't think of what it was actually called. But I suppose it doesn't matter. It was very, it probably fit like a couple hundred kids. Very stereotypical, kind of dirty punk venue. Lots of really dirty brick with Sharpie written all over it. Gum stuck in weird places. Your floor, your shoes stick to the floor. That kind of thing. Oddly high up stage, I remember, and very weirdly large backstage too, which is not very punk rock, but whatever. So we get to the venue. I carry my 2 guitars, I think I brought with me for this show, backstage, just kind of sitting around on an old stinky couch, watching other band people kind of start to come in. At first they all look like you think they would, and I'm not thinking anything was weird going on. There's a lot of people coming in. I remember, I think there was like 9 other bands on the bill, and I don't know that this really matters to the story, but maybe it helps paint a picture of the times we were in. This was like maybe within a week. I don't know. Maybe it was even the same weekend. I don't know, but it was very close to when Dimebag Darrell died. He got when he got shot playing, in Ohio. It does not matter to the story in any way, but I just feel like we should mention it. Anyway, so I'm sitting backstage watching these bands come in, and the first thing that made me think question what types of bands these were, what they were going to play, was that two of the bands were setting up their drum set because, like I said, this backstage was oddly large. So they were setting up their drum sets, and they had those like rack mount things where like Korn or like Korn or Limp Bizkit would use. And I was like, at the time I was very judgy, and I was like, well, that's not fucking punk rock. Like, what the hell? Anyway, like, going out, to the main area or whatever, there was a lot of kids showing up. So then I was getting really excited. Like, this is going to be awesome. This is going to there's probably 150, kids here. This is going to be a great show. Anyway, so I go backstage again, and I see a stereotypical, I'm in some kind of alt band guy wearing a zipped up hoodie with a military-esque jacket, or maybe a denim jacket on the top of it. Kind of cool hair looking dude, just like standing in the corner gargling like some kind of honey herbal tea that he had just brewed himself with a plug-in water boiler that he brought him with himself. I'm really like concerned about this, and it clicks in my head that I think I'm playing with bands that I'm not going to fit in with in any kind of a way. I'm pretty mad, and go find the promoter and say, hey, did you listen to my Pure Volume page that I sent you? At the time, like, you book shows through mostly through a website called Book Your Own Fucking Life, and I had a lot of success like booking shows with that. But like, it was just email, and you would say, hey, like, can I play your show, or can I play your venue? And they'd be like, yeah, cool, and that'd be that. And I think that like that, when you're playing in a band, like a punk band or, somewhere near that spectrum, you're always going to fit in with whatever, bill the people on that page are booking. Now, I was doing something at the time not in that spectrum, like just period. Like, and I think maybe that was the wrong resource to use, or maybe I should have clarified more in my email, like what kind of music I was playing. I don't know. Email was relatively new. What the fuck? What did I know about it? So anyway, so I'm like, hey, listen, like, I don't fit in. Like, these kids are gonna hate me. They're gonna say mean things to me. They're going to shun me as a person. And in hindsight, I should have just shut up and played the show. I was really like punk rock judgy at the time. Thought I like, when you're young, everything's like, you're a poser, right? And like, these posers aren't going to like me, but they probably would have, or at least just not been mean about it. So I should have probably just been cool and played the show, but I didn't, So of course the promoter was like, so are you going to play? And I was like, no, I'm not going to play. And she's like, okay, well, I can't give you any money then. And, so I had to call my parents, and like, they got me a hotel, like a shitty like Motel 6 situation in Nashville. So Fletcher, myself, and my girlfriend like went back to the hotel. So it's important to mention that that Fletcher was the only one of us who was like 21, and that he, so we couldn't do shit. We couldn't go to a bar. We couldn't, do whatever people in Nashville do. There was nothing to do for us, like, at this time. So we went back to the hotel room. Fletcher went and got a bunch of liquor. And yeah, so then we, for some reason in my car, like, there was a best of Chevy Chase Saturday Night Live DVD. So we proceeded to start drinking a lot and watch Chevy Chase. And my girlfriend at the time, and I don't even remember this part, like, she recently called me asking if I remembered it, and was shocked that I didn't for whatever reason. But she was apparently going on about how she wanted to fuck Chevy Chase, like, just kept saying that, like, and maybe that's why she had the video to begin with. I don't know. And but yeah, so we just drank and drank and drank and drank and drank and drank. And then I do recall at one point trying to roll, like I had weed, but I didn't have rolling papers. And I was trying to roll joints out of pages in the Gideon Bible that they always have in hotel rooms. And, I don't think it worked because they weren't, they're not sticky. But anyway, I drank a whole bunch, watched Chevy Chase, probably then watch whatever staticky hotel cable channels they had. And so that happens. Then we wake up, probably not early, but we probably left there like 10 in the morning, something like that, and super hungover. I don't know. I don't know when I discovered this, but I discovered it too far into the drive to turn around and go back to the hotel. That I had lost my wallet, so I didn't have my driver's license and didn't have a debit card or anything. Which honestly, I probably didn't have any money, so like that was probably okay. But a key part of that is I didn't have my wallet, and I didn't have my driver's license, and I didn't have my insurance card for my car. So we're driving, and we get to a town called Cape Girardeau. Okay. And Cape Girardeau is about, I don't even know, like probably it should be about an hour and a half from a town called Festus. I grew up in Hillsborough, which was another 20 minutes from Festus, but Festus was like where you got on Highway 55 at. Okay. Like I grew up in the middle of nowhere, outside of St. Louis. So Fletcher and I had one time when my punk band was playing in Cape Girardeau, we had made it from Festus to Cape Girardeau in 45 minutes. And he had a Ford Probe at the time, and it had a button on it that said turbo. And so like we thought it was really fast because it, like why else would there be turbo here? Anyway, so we had made it from Festus to Cape Girardeau in 45 minutes, and no one had ever believed us, because like I said, it was probably an hour and a half, at least, I guess. So for years, we had been telling people this story and no one had ever believed us. So we thought, hey, like we're going from Cape Girardeau to Festus right now. Why don't we see if we can do it again? So we did. Like I was driving my bright yellow Dodge Neon, and I floor it, and I get up to just shy of 100 miles an hour, and instantly I get pulled over because, it was the middle of the day and I was doing 100 miles an hour. Like, why wouldn't I? It all came together after the fact. Like, that was a dumb idea. But anyway, so instantly get pulled over. And again, I had lost my wallet, which had my driver's license and my insurance card, and any way to identify myself in Nashville. And I'm already out, I don't know, $80 plus gas and food or whatever, like on this trip. So probably already out like over $100. And at the time I worked 4 hours a week at Hot Topic, so like that was going to take me 10 years to recover from. So so the cop comes up, and I don't remember what he said or anything, but it was very like, what the fuck are you doing? And, as he should have been. So I decide that the right thing to do is to just tell him what we were doing. So I said, well, sir, let me explain, and you'll get it, and we'll all be okay. I told him that, my pal and I, who was in the car, had once driven from Festus to Cape Girardeau in about 45 minutes, and we were trying to see if we could perhaps recreate that, that moment right now. So he pulls me out of the car, like he gets me out of the car, and everything seems to be pointing towards I was going to go to jail. And again, I made about $20 a week working at Hot Topic. So like this was going to be a problem. So he puts me in the cop car. I'm in the car. He's looking me up and all that. And, I'd never really been in trouble or anything other than a bunch of other speeding tickets. So, whatever, like it was going to be fine. So then he proceeds to tell me that, because of how fast I was going over the speed limit, that, this is a really big fucking deal and this is going to really suck for you. And, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, he even told me that, like, he was like, you can get a lawyer, like, for the speeding ticket that I'm about to give you, but, like, you're still going to get the points. Like, there's not even going to serve a purpose, And I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay. So, not that I could have afforded one anyway, but nonetheless.